Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Moorhead police are investigating after learning someone was robbed at gunpoint around 2 this afternoon. Police are now searching for 2 people in the case. It happened outside a house on the 1600 block of 17th Street South. We spoke with a man inside the home who says his friend was approached by 2 people with a gun and told to get out of his car. The people involved know each other and communicated over social media. At this time, police are not releasing a description of the 2 men, but stick with Valley News Live as we continue to follow this story. More breaking news for you, this time out of Moorhead. Again, we just learned that a student was sent home sometime today with injuries after a major fight. Moorhead police, along with school leaders, say they are investigating a fight involving 4 students in a bathroom at Horizon East Middle School. That's where we find Valley News Team's Alexandra Kay, who has the latest. Alexandra?
Andrea, the fight that happened today is the second one just this week at Horizon Middle School. I spoke with some students earlier who told me that fights like this, they happen somewhat frequently, saying there's at least one every 2 weeks. Now, these fights aren't just happening often, but they're also being recorded and posted on social media. I found multiple accounts of these fights. We will have much more on that tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10. Reporting live in Moorhead, Alexandra Kay, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Alexandra. Moorhead Area Public Schools released a statement saying it is concerning to see this kind of behavior and that their goal is to create and maintain campuses that are safe for all students and staff. They add their goal for campus safety involves disciplinary sanctions when student behavior falls below their standards. We turn now to news that is breaking nationally. The Senate just completed the impeachment trial, voting to acquit President Donald Trump. The Republican majority in the Senate voted to acquit the president on both articles. The House impeached the president nearly 50 days ago. Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill with the final votes.
The Senate adjudges that the respondent, Donald John Trump, President of the United States, is not guilty as charged.
In an historic vote, the Republican-led Senate acquitted President Trump on Article 1, abuse of power, and on Article 2, obstruction of Congress.
My faith is at the heart of who I am.
Earlier, Utah Republican Mitt Romney made an impassioned speech to announce his decision. He voted guilty on abuse of power.
Were I to ignore the evidence that has been presented and disregard what I believe my oath and the Constitution demands of me, for the sake of a partisan end, it would, I fear, expose my character to history's rebuke.
Mitt Romney's wrong occasionally. He's wrong in this case.
Moderate Democrats Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, and Doug Jones stuck with their party and voted to convict the president.
Our country deserves better than this.
House Democrats say investigations into the Trump administration will continue regardless of the outcome of the Senate trial. House Judiciary Chair Jerry Nadler has indicated he wants to subpoena former National Security Advisor John Bolton after the Senate voted down a resolution to call him as a trial witness. According to a New York Times report, Bolton writes in an upcoming memoir that President Trump personally asked him to pressure Ukraine on investigations into the Democrats. President Trump has denied the allegations. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
North Dakota Senator Kevin Cramer says he voted against both articles of impeachment against President Trump. We'll have more reaction from Senator Cramer tonight on Valley News Live at 6. New for you now at 5, a Wisconsin resident has been sickened with the coronavirus that originated in China and spread across the world. It's the first case in Wisconsin and the 12th in the country. Health officials say the patient is an adult isolated at their home, but they're not revealing the patient's age, where they're located, or any other details. Again, with the sunshine today, sure helps us get through these cold winter months. Today's temps, though, not bad. Let's find out about this evening with Hutch in your No Wait weather planner.
Andrea, I recommend you get out and enjoy because we are really in the middle of a treat of a day. Temperatures are not hot, but we definitely made it up into the upper 20s for our afternoon, a sunset getting ready to take place. Now, it's a little warmer out in the western and central Dakotas in the 30s there, but all of us enjoying 20s to near 30 today. Bemidji, you're 28 degrees. Any inclement weather is a long ways off, but we do have some cold air up to the north of us in the form of a cold front there near Winnipeg. That'll be sliding south, changing things over the next day and a half. For us, clear skies continue and our snowbanks are still there. You can see them clearly on the visible satellite. It's all that white you see on the ground. Here's a look at your planner. Temperatures slipping into the teens this evening with light winds for the most part out of the south. Grand Forks also in the teens for your evening. Increasing clouds and maybe even some flurries as we go into the overnight hours. We'll talk about the changes that cool front will bring to our forecast as we close out our work week. And Andrea, we're going to update you on a storm system taking aim on the northern plains. In the extended forecast, we'll tell you what we know here in just a couple of moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A 24-year-old man accused in a shooting outside Hornbachers in Moorhead is now sentenced to 11 years in prison. It happened in December of 2018 when officers responded to the South Moorhead Hornbachers for a report of gunshots. According to court documents, Kevin Blocker walked up to the victim's car, pointed a gun, and demanded marijuana. Police say the two struggled for the gun before Blocker shot the victim. A witness told police they set up the marijuana deal online. Officials say Blocker will spend the next 11 years in a St. Cloud prison. A woman accused of stabbing a man in the chest in Grand Forks is now charged with attempted murder. According to court documents, police responded to a call from a man who said he had been stabbed by 31-year-old Christine Jones. Police later found Jones, who admitted stabbing the man once while he was lying on the couch. Officials say the man has a punctured lung that collapsed and his condition is unknown at this time. Jones is set to be in court again on March 9th. Jamestown police are investigating an incident that happened at a local recreational center. Police say a woman at Two Rivers Activity Center made an accusation against a teenage boy who was inside the women's restroom. Police say the accusation was not sexual and they wouldn't give details on what happened. The boy was suspended from the gym for 3 months, according to the Jamestown Parks and Recreational Department, and the case is still being looked into. Grand Forks police are alerting the public about a high-risk sex offender who's moving within the city. 33-year-old Kelly Tanner is now living at 18.5 North Washington Street. He's convicted of gross sexual imposition and sexual assault. Some of his cases involved boys and girls, all under the age of 13. High-risk offenders are considered the most likely to recommit a disturbing crime. Court and jail records indicate there has been over 20 cases of domestic violence in the Valley just in the last week. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with experts today who say while the number seems high, there are a lot more cases that we will never know about.
While 20 domestic violence cases throughout the Valley is alarming, experts say almost half of all domestic violence incidents go unreported.
Not every person that comes to our agency comes here because there's been an arrest.
Corbel says with the holidays behind us, many think the height of domestic violence is as well. But she says domestic violence knows no timeline.
It's not a wave. It's ingrained in a belief. What we believe is okay, what we can do, what we have a right to do. I would never be able to say that we have a pattern to say 1 month is ever the 1 month that we would see it higher.
She says she believes the reason there are so many underreported cases is because of the stigma and possible repercussions of reaching out for help.
I think privacy becomes a very big issue, and secrecy is a big part of domestic violence. Retaliation for breaking the secret.
Corbel also says sometimes victims don't report because they're unsure of what they want to happen to both the other person and themselves.
Often it's how do I navigate this relationship, or am I choosing to leave or stay?
She says regardless if you're impacted by domestic violence, it's important to find someone safe to confide in and a place to go if your safety becomes compromised. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
For a list of services Ripon Abuse Crisis Center offers and how to get in touch with them, head to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story. The head of the FBI is laying out some of his moves to correct problems at the agency that have been highlighted in an Inspector General report. This as he's asked whether there have been any requests for investigations in retaliation for the impeachment trial. FBI Director Christopher Wray appeared before the House Judiciary Committee today. He was fielding questions over the possibility of retaliation from President Trump to seek payback for his impeachment.
Mr. Chairman, I have assured the Congress, and I can assure the Congress today, that the FBI will only open investigations based on the facts and the law and proper predication.
Wray said he may not have been in the job at the time of the problems described in the report, but says his team is focused on preventing those kinds of failures from happening again. Still ahead.